dancing, musical theater.
Greta's surgeries were done in planned steps or stages. Her parents say she handled each of her doctor visits, tests, and treatments with courage and toughness.
She never complains. They'll be poking her 20 times and she'll have a tear rolling down her face, but she handles this so well.
I don't recall her once saying, I don't want to do this. If they gave her a shot, she may have cried a little bit, but she knew that she had to do it, and she just soldiered on.
It's a complicated, unfamiliar world. Parents like Kyle and Yvette have no choice but to navigate with their families. Doctors don't do heart surgeries on children in Baton Rouge, so travel and long stays away from home are a difficult yet necessary fact of life for pediatric heart patients in our area.
You know, life is still going to happen even if you are dislocated from your house and your home and your church and your support structure. One of the things that we try very hard to do is to educate our families that they're not the only people that this has happened to. They're not alone. They're not going to go through this without some support, and that's what we're here to do, and then make the right decisions to get them to the right place, to get whatever surgeries or interventions are necessary, get that done and get them at home.
To get through a situation like this, it's tough, and you just have to have faith that even, we don't know what the outcome's going to be, but, God's letting her be here right now. We're going to enjoy every minute we have with her and not dwell on why is this happening.
Children who benefit from current successes in the treatment of congenital heart disease are part of a fresh generation leading the way to new, even more advanced pediatric heart care. They're the patients who will help define care for adults surviving birth defects, once considered almost always fatal.
I actually want to be a cardiologist.
Give me back that filet-o-fish, give me that fish. Give me back that filet-o-fish, give me that fish.
Can't get enough? The double filet-o-fish sandwich is here.
In a child's hands, a simple stick can be magical. A scrap of cloth holds superpowers. A cardboard box, a world of adventure. In a child's life, make-believe is powerful. But when real life creeps in, when illness arises, it takes more than a magic wand, more than make-believe. We believe in making things better for children. Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital.
Congenital heart defects are the #1 birth defect in the world. Grave Chevrolet has partnered with WAFB to help raise awareness for babies born with heart disease. The children of our community are special to us, so please log on to WAFB.com to learn more about mending hearts.
Give me back that filet-o-fish, give me that fish. Give me back that filet-o-fish, give me that fish.
Can't get enough? The double filet-o-fish sandwich is here.
Looking back clearly, we see what we could not know. Looking forward, surely, we see. Our hearts believe it so.
I feel a lot more energetic. I feel like I can do more, and I'm not as held back from activities.
Rebecca Savoie is on her school's 7th grade cheer squad. She plays softball and volleyball. 2 years ago, she had her second heart surgery. Since then, her life has been much fuller.
She doesn't like to study very much, but she does. Her grades are good. She has a lot of friends. She smiles and she giggles a lot.
Rebecca was born with 2 large holes in her heart. A dozen years ago, her family was lucky to be guided by a local pediatric cardiologist to the expert surgical care she needed. She was flown across the country to San Francisco for her life-saving heart repair.
I often tell people the patients in my practice should have the best survival of any patients in the nation, because we're not locked in to go into any one place, and we've shown a willingness over the years to place these children in the best situation for success.
Dr. Michael Crapanzano has overseen Rebecca Savoie's treatment from the time she was born. Over the years, cardiologists have learned many things about treating their young patients that have improved surgical success. Rebecca's first operation was outstanding, but her heart eventually needed a second procedure.
With Rebecca, The upside to doing surgery so young was we got her straight, and she had many, many great years, but the surgery was never quite perfect. And over the years, for lack of a better way to explain, she had some scarring, and it made it where she had to go back to have a cleanup surgery. Technically, it was very easy. Psychologically, in some ways, it was more difficult than the first one.
In 2007, the Savoie family was packing up, preparing for surgery at Children's Hospital Boston.
The second surgery going to Boston was just so much harder. We didn't want that day to ever get here.
I was very scared and I didn't want everybody to find out at first, but once they all found out, I was kind of happy that because I knew everybody would be praying for me.
At 10 years of age, Rebecca was very aware of what having major surgery might be like. She wasn't happy about it and resisted the idea.
She had a mind of her own. She didn't want to do certain things. She didn't want to tell me she was hurting. She didn't want to take her medicine. She just didn't feel good, and we went a strange place.
I remember going into surgery and crying my eyes out because I didn't want to go.
But she faced her fears, and with support from her family and friends, she came through the operation.
But she's a lot stronger, and she can hold her ground with her classmates that she couldn't do before this last surgery. So that's the beautiful part of it. She's a different child.
There's a whole new field to developing an adult with congenital heart disease because we now have such better survival rates, and we can manage them so much better and correct their problems along the way that they do need reoperations. And we're seeing disease processes we didn't even know existed 10 or 20 years ago because no one had lived to be old enough to see the problems that can happen.
Well, Rebecca and I have been hunting together since she was probably 18 months old. She's been coming to the deer stand, and I guess it was when you were 8 years old that you finally shot your first deer. Now she's starting to find other interests, and little boys are calling, and we have issues with that. But she's been a great kid, and these 2 heart surgeries have kind of set her free.
When a child is born with a heart defect, all the uncertainty and fear families encounter can serve to magnify many of the ordinary pleasures in life. When their child's heart is fixed, parents marvel at the miracle, but never stop wondering what the future might bring.
She's had 2 major surgeries with a perfect outcome, and I suspect she won't have to see me very often at all.
We saw him about a month ago, and he told Rebecca he didn't need to see her for 2 years.
Make-believe is part of life, but when reality knocks you down, it takes real strength and skill to stand up again. Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital. We believe in making things better for children.
At Chick-fil-A Baton Rouge and Lafayette, congenital heart disease has touched our family. We are proud to partner with the Louisiana Pediatric Cardiology Foundation and WAFB to give back to our community by supporting children with congenital heart defects and diseases.
We are part of the King family, and our sister Keegan has a congenital heart defect.
That is why Volks Instructors has partnered with WAFB, LPCF, and Mending Hearts.
For more information, log on to WAFB.com.
Congenital heart defects are the #1 birth defect in the world. Jerry Lane Enterprises has partnered with WAFB to help raise awareness for babies born with heart disease. The children of our community are special to us, so please log on to WAFB.com to learn more about Mending Hearts.
To a child, make-believe is part of life. But when illness is real, it takes more than a magic wand, more than make-believe. Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital. We believe in making things better for children.
Some may live with special hearts, needing faith and expert care for mending.
We see now probably close to 1/3 of all the heart children in the state. And to know that we started this nidus in Baton Rouge and now it's spread to all these other communities tells me that we've really affected outcomes of children. The first year when I came, I kept track of the survival rate when they went to New Orleans for their surgery, and we had 17% of our kids die in the first year to 2 years. Now our survival rate is over 99%.
We have certain disease processes where there was nearly 100% mortality even 15 years ago. And Now, not only can we identify, we can intervene and we can fix, and those kids are normal. And it's very, very satisfying at the end of the day.
Personally, I love kids, I love people and families, and seeing these children grow up and enjoy life and have opportunities that they wouldn't otherwise have had is tremendously emotionally very satisfying.
Well, we're very blessed and very fortunate to have such wonderful pediatric cardiologists here in Louisiana. In addition to these physicians' outstanding medical care, they've also created this wonderful foundation which has brought together so many families in terms of better understanding each other's needs and helping each other through a very difficult time.
The Louisiana Pediatric Cardiology Foundation gives support to local children suffering from heart disease and their families. In some cases, there's even financial assistance, aid with medical equipment, and the list of foundation success stories continues to grow. Families Reaching Out to Families is the core of the foundation's mission. It's a vital link between parents who are trusting doctors who are mending hearts. Thanks for watching. I'm Phil Rainier.
For several months, WAFB has been helping you prepare for the big switch to digital television. Now, the U.S. Congress has delayed the conversion date until June 12th to ensure all viewers are really ready. When the big switch does take place, if you have satellite or cable TV, you'll be okay. But if you're still receiving local television over the air with an antenna, you'll need to buy a converter box. Call this number or log on to WAFB.com for more information. The new date for the big switch is Friday, June 12th.